Picture this. You're stationed alone in a secret GTA base. Your job is to retrieve vital information and make it so that this damn place never existed. You're nearly done. You're just waiting on the helicopter to take you back to headquarters until you receive a message from your radio. Commander, Dr. Xenon is sending new forces we have never encountered before. Hold out as long as you can. We're calling you back up. You look out the nearby window and hear that singing, screaming sound. He's here. In this video, I'll be seeing how far every tower in TDX can get in the reworked expert mode. But first, I'll need to explain the rules. Since most towers can't get stealth and flying detection with their earlier, cheaper upgrades, I'll be using one extra support tower in each run, mostly just to make the video interesting, but yeah. Our support towers will be doing a minimum amount of damage to still make it a more or less accurate representation of how good the main tower is. And this also applies to relines and powers. Without further ado, our first tower is Ranger is a starter tower of TDX, and while it can solo easy in a mid to medium mode, the difference in HP between Eradicator Mark 1 and Eradicator Mark 2 Plus is just a little. Surprisingly though, it did pretty decent on the first few waves of Expert. It cleared the first few waves about as well as you would expect it to, only leaking about 10 HP, and we managed to afford the Assault Loadout upgrade, which began easily beating the wave. But then the X-Soldier enemies began to spawn in. Oh boy, the X-Soldiers. These guys have a rifle that they use to shoot at towers. Usually this is not a problem, but since Ranger is basically a paperweight, these guys brought my towers to an alarmingly low HP. I had to keep upgrading my Ranger to increase its HP. But then the heavy Titan enemy spawned on wave 10. This big guy has almost 2000 HP and a 50% resistance to bullet damage, meaning even though I maxed my bottom path Ranger, it took so long to kill that the stealth enemies on wave 12 killed us. A wave 12 finish. Shotgun was the next tower I did, and I'm not gonna lie, I hate this tower. I'm just gonna say what happened. It got to wave 10, couldn't kill the heavy Titan, died on wave 11. Basically the same thing, yet worse than Rangers somehow. So yeah. Ranger's big brother operator has a bigger issue in that it can't ignore bullet resistance, which is quite important because half the enemies in the first half of Expert have some form of bullet resistance. But the only real option that we could use was just to play on a really big map and save and skip a bunch of waves and save up for the Humvees upgrade. I think it's Commander. Someone tell me in the comments. But yeah, we got the Humvee upgrade and we used that to kill the exosuit zombies and the heavy Titans. But even with the Humvees, the enemies are still pushing until eventually on wave 20 when we died to a jumper. These jumpers are definitely not going to be annoying for the rest of the run. I honestly thought Missile Trooper would do quite well due to its high range, early stealth detection and ability to ignore explosion resistance on the opponent path. So you can imagine my surprise when we died on wave 10. Yup, wave 10. Why, you may ask? Well, it's actually quite simple. Missile Trooper attacks way too slow to kill all the little enemies. So yeah, he loses on wave 10.
Alright, the next tower is Juggernaut. This thing used the hard carry in old Expert, so I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume that in new Expert it's not going to have that bad of a time, right? Well, to make things more interesting at the start of the run, I bought 2 cash crates to buy our first Juggernaut as soon as possible. We had to get the bottom path to hit the stealth enemies, and that was a problem. By doing this, we lost the ability to ignore bullet resistance from the top path, meaning that the exosuit zombies had a literal field day against it. Remember how I said the Heavy Titan has 50% bullet resistance? Yeah, well, the exosuits have a whopping 85% resistance. Juggernaut was basically tickling these guys. We died on wave 18 to exosuit zombies.
Patrol Boat is a cool tower. It's one of the only towers in the game that can be placed in water, and it's also one of the oldest towers in the game. I think it actually existed on release. I went with a support tower of sniper to help with stealth and flying enemies, and we cruised through the alleyways. We upgraded to the top path to deal with bullet resistances, and after picking up a flare gun sniper, we were easily beating pretty much everything. After rewinding and placing more snipers, I maxed the top path patrol boat, which has flying detection now? Either way, from there I mostly spammed top path boats for their range until we reached wave 29. This is the wave when the first mini bosses, the Predators, make their debut. This wave isn't really difficult, and really only serves as a throwback to the original Predator wave in old experts. But yeah. After that, we reached wave 30, where the real trouble began. This wave introduces the new boss trio of Phobius, Zeus, and Artemis, each with their own special abilities. Phobius tanks most of the hits and can kill close talents with a flamethrower attack. Artemis is a flying boss and can one-shot almost any tower in the game. And Zeus, he's kinda just there. Surprisingly, we were taking them down with minimal issues, and soon only Artemis survived. We managed to defeat her, but not before she killed half of my patrol boats with her attacks. Because of this, the Armored Runner Unbounded spam on the next wave finishes off. Patrol Boat ends its run on an impressive wave 31. Operator's Big Sister Ghost is cool in that it's the first tower on the list that doesn't need to worry about flying enemies. It can attack them without any upgrades. Not sure why the other towers can't just look up, but it's whatever. Ghost's problem though is that it still can't ignore bullet resistance. I bought a support tower of Slammer and used it to defend the armored enemies. With the exception of a few exosuit leaks, everything was fine until wave 10 when the Heavy Titan got by with over half its HP remaining. I moved some of my towers to the back of the map to try and defend it, but with more spawning I was forced to move all of my defense to the back of the map. From there, we were actually fine for a couple of waves, until a horde of exosuit zombies tanked so much damage that the wave 18 jumper got by. I managed to skip one wave before we died, making Ghost finish on wave 19. I kept running out of storage when recording this one, so I'm just going to say what happened. We got a 2-5 barracks and managed to survive until wave 24 where we died to jumpers. XWM is the first tower that's too expensive to place at the start of the match. I used 2 cash drops and defended with sniper until wave 17 when I placed my first turret. I got a few rocket turrets before beginning to spam minigun turrets, but because of the nerfs, 4 tier turrets no longer ignore bullet resistance, meaning the armored runners almost got past us. We leaked the bandit on wave 25, but I rewinded and killed it a second time around. We reached wave 30 and managed to kill all the enemies except Phobius. I had to sell most of my defense and move it back in order to try and kill him, but right as I was about to kill him, he used the freaking shield ability, and I didn't have enough time to kill him as the wave 31 armored runners killed us. I hate Phobius, bro. Machine Gunner is the newest tower added to the game, and since it got a buff, I decided to do it next. The buffs allowed it to easily crush the waves until wave 30, where I managed to kill everything except Phobius, whose shield spam meant that I couldn't kill him. Oh my goodness, bro. But I did not ask. Can I just say, why is Phobius General Sogar 2.0? that was not necessary. Just look away. Why does he have to shield spam? Shannon also got split shield spam, and that made the event so annoying. And our phobia shield spam, which makes the wave so much more annoying, bro. I swear. Anyways, after a rewind and bait spamming, I killed the boss trio, putting machine gun ahead of patrol bro, as it also had zero issue taking out the VX drone on wave 35. Although this is probably because this is probably just because of the anti-air turrets I had. Because yeah, I had to bring anti-air turret as a support for machine gunner because it doesn't get flying detection by the time it needs to. Then after that, I died to wave 38's abomination spam. After another rewind, I made it to wave 40, the wave the boss destructor spawns in. He has 675,000 HP and can summon lightning clouds and uses a jetpack to jump around the map. However, this isn't what killed me. The Titan charge spam on this wave killed me, and even though I rewinded, I disconnected. I don't think I was beating that wave anyways, so machine gunner finishes on wave 40. John is a tower pretty much the same as the John from TDX. It wields a pistol and has a damage buff ability with the max top upgrade. The run started simple with a 4-2 John defending until wave 12, where we leaked a few enemies. The two heavy titans on this wave also got past my main defense, so I had to sell my second John in order to kill him. I got a few flare gun snipers and purchased a 2-4 John to help defend the armored enemies. From here, I maxed the bottom path John and started spamming 2-5 Johns around the 5-2 John for its damage buff. But this defense only lasts until wave 30, where the bosses completely bulldoze my defense. John finishes on wave 30. Sniper is the last tower for part 1 of this series, and for good reason. It's the only tower I knew could win before doing the run, because while procrastinating this video, I saw another video about Sniper soloing expert. The support tower used was ED on oil fields, and so this segment of the video is less how far can it go and more can I actually get footage of me being a competent player. I'm going to time lapse this whole run now, so it conveniently ends when the song ends. trust me, I would have killed Mark 2 here. Trust me.